Welcome back everybody to another episode of Path of Diablo. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Javazon build here. We are a Plague and Lightning Fury Javazon. This is hands down the best cow killer in the game. I'm going to be going over two different kind of versions. I'm going to be giving you guys the best in slot gear, the best possible gear that you could possibly afford with unlimited high runes, and maybe more of a little bit of a starting ladder budget build type deal for this character as well. So it's going to be a little bit for everybody in here, and I'll kind of show you guys some of the starter items that I use to get where I'm at, okay? But first off, we're going to hop into a cow run, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Obviously, you got to go to Stony here first. We'll swap to our Harmony, which I'll show you guys the gear in a minute. But the easiest way to find Trist is to find the path and just follow it. And eventually this path will lead you either to that, which you don't want, or to, you should be able to see the portal on the map from Trist. And look at that, there it is. Works every time. So I like to kill him, don't have to, you can run past him if you want. Swap back to our Harmony. I don't know if you guys can tell, this game is actually in widescreen right now, which actually looks really good. The latest patch of Path of Diablo actually just fixed this. Something with it wasn't working correctly the first time. But yeah, there's the word slag. We're going to grab that really quick. I actually already have one in my inventory. And we'll run over to Akara here and grab our book. Probably could have done this before, but we're going to throw those in our cube here. Pop this bad boy open, and like I said, I always like to show you guys a little bit of gameplay. So our primary ability here is going to be Plague Javelin on my left and Lightning Fury on the right. And what you're going to want to kind of do is just kind of grab some guys and then just start throwing. And these guys just absolutely get obliterated. Throwing our loot filter here so we don't get all the garbage everywhere. That's going to be the main goal, is just run around, grab a bunch of cows, group them up, and start slinging. And we're not going to focus too much on single cows. And actually, even if they're lightning immune, you can still do quite a bit of lightning damage. You can see I'm just dealing pure lightning damage to him right now. Because of our weapon, actually deals quite a bit of physical damage as well. But cows is one of the best places that I like to farm early game. They're super easy to kill. You can have garbage resistances like my 22 there. Or if I'm switching, you can see I have negative 16. Because they're slow, they're stupid, and there isn't a whole lot of elemental cows. You can just run circles around them, no problems. Avoid their hits, and they have a really high drop rate of runes and stuff. Technically no higher than any other area, but they're so dense in here. I seem to have quite a bit of luck early game. Last season I found like 2 jaw, and I've got to burn my stash from this place. And all kinds of mid and low runes, and pulls and lems and stuff like that as well. If you're also watching this as a guide for vanilla D2, lightning won't kill the Cow King. In pod that doesn't matter, but we got a nice fat group here. We'll just shred these guys really quick. Lots of yellows, lots of rares. You see here's the Cow King in there somewhere. Just gonna group them up and throw some spears at him. You want to keep, you're going to be mainly a lightning Javazon here, but keep throwing those poisons in there. The poisons do quite a bit of damage as well. Pull my stat sheet here. You can see 21k. Obviously that's not instant, it's over time, but it still adds up, especially if you're trying to kill a lightning immune. They do work out very well. Or if you're looking at a single target, the poison might be a little bit better for single target type deals here. See if we can group these guys up a little bit. There we go. Get rid of those guys. Like I said, I don't focus too much on clearing out single cows. I'll let them chase me for a little while. And you can get this build. I'm not using 100% optimal gear. I'll kind of tell you guys what is and isn't optimal gear. But I like to run mine a little bit different because I like to be a little bit more versatile. I want to be able to do chaos on my Javazon as well. So I'm not running strictly a cow build here. You could do some more things to optimize the cow build if you really wanted to. But definitely early game, this is an extremely easy way to gear multiple characters, not just the Javazon. And yeah, this stuff just dies so fast. This is obviously on hell difficulty, you can see up there in the corner. And before I forget, special shout out to SenpaiSomething from the Diablo 2 Path of Diablo community. He's the one that kind of designed this build. I just put my tweak on it and my take on it. Like I always say in my other videos, I just like to get some gameplay out there and get the build all in one video, and that seems to really help me decide what build I want to play. There's a good Grand Charm there, we'll grab that. Worth anything? Nope, sure isn't. In between packs, we'll switch back to our Harmony and run around. You can also use Phase Run, throw that on there, you can see. Helps you run a little bit faster. I always forget to use Phase Run. One thing you'll notice I'm not using is a Valkyrie or a Mercenary. They'll kind of mess up your grouping. I'm kind of going slow here and not really paying attention because I'm trying to talk and play at the same time. Obviously, most people will just run in a big circle around the outside and then reset the game and not hunt down all the little stuff in the middle. I like to play a little bit slower. I'm not all about the grind, you know. I want to kill cows and have fun and enjoy my build. At the same time, I don't need to be min-maxing every single second. But if that's what you like to do, by all means. Most people, wherever the portal is, let's go outside, hit a wall, make a big circle. They won't mess around in the middle here at all. And then restart the game. Yeah, this is going to be a great class for the new upcoming season. I believe it starts the January 24th, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of the country. We're going on a family cruise, which is very unfortunate timing. I had a really bad feeling that that was going to happen during the live event that he streamed, Green Dude streamed on Twitch, but unfortunately I won't be playing, but as soon as I get back I'll be playing like normal. You got a good pack here, look at these guys, ready? Alright. Gone. Really hoping to be able to find something cool, like a nice decent rune or something while I was here. Found a unique ring in the last game while I was kind of prepping for my video. Grand Charm, lots of charms, lots of good. This is a really good way to get gems and stuff as well if you need. Alright, we've kind of made it full circle here. We'll wrap up these last couple guys. Oop, there's some in the middle here. So this is where the hardcore guys usually don't go, I believe. You can see I'm taking quite a few hits. I've got a good chunk of life. Pretty strong build. A lot of times the bosons and stuff can be pretty squishy. Did he just teleport? You can see single target DPS isn't the greatest. The majority of DPS from this character comes from the fact that you're using Pierce and creating a lot of lightning off of these spears that we're throwing. Okay, that's about it here. We'll go back to town. We'll start heading over. We'll start with gear. I'm sorry, we'll start with skills. That'll be probably a little bit easier. I'll try to put them up on the screen over here as well, so if you guys aren't great listeners like I'm not, and you're more of a visual person like I am, you can just look at it. But to start off, we're going to go all of our prereqs here. We're going to need one. We're going to go down the line and get Lightning Fury. This is going to be our main skill here. This is what's creating all those lightnings. That's killing all the cows. We're going to max this guy out 20 points into that. And then we are going to follow that with 20 points into Plague Java. That's your other primary skill. And then we're going to also max Lightning Bolt and Poison Javelin. These are going to be your bonuses here. So 22% poison damage there and 6% lightning damage per level there. And then we're going to hop over to Passive and Magic. And we're going to do 1 point in Lethal Strike, 1 point in Penetrate, which are prerequisites. And then we're going to put in, if you have a Razor Tail, which I'll talk about in a minute here, you're only going to want to put 9 points here. And that's going to leave you at 99% total. If you don't have Razor Tail, the goal is to get this percentage there up to a 100% chance to pierce, or 99% chance to pierce. And it's based off of this belt here. So this belt is giving me 33% attack, or 33% piercing attack. You can do 33 plus 68, and you can see I'm over 100%. So, like I said, I think 9 is the sweet spot on this guy. I don't know why I have. Oh, I had 9 and then I put my BK ring on, so that's why I'm at 10 now. So yeah, 9 is ideal. I think it's 13 or 14 if you do not have a Razor Tail, but Razor Tail is pretty essential to this build. With that, 1 point into phase run inner sight here for the phase run. You're going to have a few points left over. You can see I'm level 90 here. Nothing in bow and crossbow. The remaining skills you're going to just split between these 3 abilities right here. Evade, avoid, and dodge. Just split them evenly, toss them all in there. You can see I got 9, 10, and 10, so my next point would go into dodge. And that's basically it for the skills. So we'll go over that real quick one more time. 20, 20, 20, 20, Prereqs, 1, 1, 9, and then split. So it's a very easy build. You're not putting stuff all over the place. No Valkyrie, no decoys. You can use those for leveling if you need. Nothing in bow and passives here, bow and crossbows. And we're gonna avoid the left side here. Now, as far as a leveling build, for gearing up this character, if you want to go Charge Strike to level up, especially with a melee splash early game, this thing is Charge Strike is broken, straight up broken. So you just go jab, power strike, and then Charge Strike, and just start dumping Charge Strike. This ability is insane early game with a melee splash, so keep that in mind. Over to the stat side of things, I'll pull up my inventory here as well, just so you guys can see. I've got way too much strength here. You're going to want 156. I've got a lot of things that give me strength. That's why I'm way over. And I don't like to strength glitch my stuff on. But yeah, 156 strength to rock your Storm Shield. You're going to do 109 dexterity, I believe, to rock the Titans here. And then everything else is going to go into Vitality. So I'm actually not using max block. Ideally, you don't want to get hit. You could go max block. Some people do. I choose not to. I'm already using a Storm Shield. I don't think it's quite necessary. And I like to add the extra life. So you can see we're at 1600 life. Right there. That's my damage that I'm outputting right now. My lightning could be a little bit higher. I could use some facets and stuff like that. Yeah, you can see I obviously did not struggle doing cows at all. And this build overall is pretty cheap to produce. So get rid of that. We will hop into the gear section now. And I will mention, before I start with the gear, because I'm going to forget, the breakpoint that you guys want to hit for this build is going to be 52, I believe. And you guys can see I am actually at increased attack speed 40. Ooh, because I lost my gloves. That's right, I swapped these out. So ideally, I would need another 20%. I like to hit 60. With Laying of Hands, I'll hit that. I swapped these out for the triangles for the poison damage. It's up to you guys. Praying is probably better for the poison, but you really need to hit that increased attack speed. The reason you can hit that, the way you could hit it is if you get a better corruption on your Titans for that. But we'll start off from the top. Andariel's Visage, going to be the best in slot helmet for this game. My corruption sucks. You want 3 sockets. You can throw facets in it. You can throw Ral runes in it, so your fire resistance isn't garbage. Why is it up to 50? Oh, there we go. Because the Laying of Hands give 50 as well, so. Like, yeah, there we go. But you can throw Ral runes in here. That'll help you out with that resistance as well. Some other helmets that you can use. I started out with Lore. Super easy early game helmet. That's what I used when I started. You could also use a Shaco. Unfortunately, the only one I found is Ethereal, so that sucks. But you could use a Shaco there as well, or even a Valkyrie helm. That gives you mana per kill and move speed, which is super nice for this build here. Next, we'll go to chest. Early game chest, I started out with the Stealth. For that faster run walk and the faster hit recovery, super nice. And also the Regenerate Mana. You can see this character does use a lot of mana. You could also use Smoke, which is going to be the 50 all-res chest plate. But Enigma and Bramble would be the best rune words. Bramble's going to give you a ton of poison damage. I'm using none of those, and I'm actually using a Fort, which is not ideal for this character, but is also why I'm so tanky right now. So yeah, Enigma, Bramble, Smoke, Treachery, Stealth, any of those. Like I said, you can do this. You can do cows with this build with you know, only a Titans if you wanted to. This build is just super broken for cows. Doesn't need a whole lot of gear. You can mix and match. You can start with this build as soon as you hit hell. Obviously, you got to kill Ball first and be able to open cows. But you know, level 65, level 70, you can do cows super easy. Next, we'll go to the belt, which is going to be Razor Tail. We're using Razor Tail for the Pierce, 33% attack. Kind of just need it. It's so good. They're not too expensive at the beginning of ladder. Try to grab one if you can't find one. Otherwise, the best in slot would be a ARAC for the +1 skills. But to use this, you really want to corrupt it and get Pierce on it. So you'd corrupt it to get 8% Pierce. I think mine's CNC. I don't remember. I don't know if slow target is always on there or not. But yeah, you'd want a CNC ARAC. Or not a CNC. You want a 8% Pierce ARAC if you're not going to use Razor Tail. For the boots, kind of got quite a few different options here. You can run with Natalia's for the run walk, and you get lightning and cold res. You can do these guys here, Sandstorms, if you want, for 20 faster run walk, vitality, and strength. You can use War Travs, which are here. So here's my War Travs. I prefer just a quality of life type deal. I like to use Silkweave Boots. And the reason I use Silkweaves is because it gives you 5 mana after every kill, which means I'm not using nearly as many mana pots. Like I said, it's quality of life. It doesn't super matter. If you want to use Eldur's Boots for the fire res because you're using Andes, that's fine. I think those give like 40 fire res or something. And the faster run walk on here is really nice too. So if you're using, you know, Sandstorm, you're only getting 20 versus this gives 30 and that gives 40. These guys give 25. So it's just kind of up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Gloves, like I already kind of went over it. Trangules, you're using the Trang for the 25% increased poison damage as well as the cold res. These rolled 30%, or I'm sorry, these 30% cold res is always on there. When I corrupted it, we got the 6 life and the 10 life gained on ranged and melee. That's kind of not super critical for this build. You don't need it. You'd much better off with increased attack speed, which is why I was using the Laying of Hands. So that's another option. Any gloves with attack speed on them. Sanders, if you want to start out with Sanders gloves, those would be alright. You can also shop in Act 5 here. You can shop gloves from What's-Her-Face over here. And if you're smart like me and don't close the portal, I don't know why I closed the portal. I'm brain dead. You can hop in and out, and I believe it's the yellow gloves. They look like they're gold or whatever. They look like this color. Those will be the Java attack speed gloves, I believe. The other thing we can do early game, and say if you don't have a Titans is going to be the best in slot for sure. Not T-Stroke. I'm not a fan of T-Stroke. Use Titans. They got the increased stack size and they replenish themselves. So you're not going to be using a ton of money. I would actually recommend getting 2 Titans if you can. Just so when this one runs out, if you're doing a ton of cows back to back, you're going to run out of them. In early game, you might not have a ton of cash to repair them. So you could just do several Titans and just swap them out. The corruption you want here, like I said earlier, is going to be attack speed. I didn't get anything. I think this is CNC as well on this one. Didn't get anything on this one. What I started out with is a spear similar to this. It was 3 to Java and spear skills, and then 20 increased attack speed. That one's got 10. See if I can find anything. But you can also, that one's got 40. You can also shop these, just like here. So you open up Anya here, go to the back tab here, and you're just going to look through them. If it's not there, go through the portal, come back out, and do it again. Same thing for the gloves. You're just going to do that over and over and over again. Every time you leave town, it'll reset the vendors. So you can shop those with her. That's a good way to get early game gloves and early game weapons until you find a Titans and Trangs or find something that you can trade to afford those items, right? Amulets. I'm using High Lords. Also CNC. Looks like. I've had pretty bad luck with all my stuff this. But yeah, High Lords here. 20% increased attack speed. That's what you're basically using it for. Another great amulet is going to be Cat's Eye for the run speed if you want to walk around like a crazy man. Cat's Eye is great. Rings, must have, is a Raven Frost. It's just not worth playing without Cannot Be Frozen. It's terrible. You also get some dexterity, which is pretty cool. Your second ring doesn't super matter. I'm using a 10% FCR BK, which the FCR does nothing for this class. It is actually worth quite a bit of money, though, if you manage to get a +1 10 FCR ring, kind of like the Soj and stuff. But BK, Wisp, doesn't really matter. If you can find a nice quad res ring, you can use Dwarf Star. It doesn't really matter. I've got a Dwarf Star here I was using for a little bit. Second ring doesn't really matter. It's not going to be hugely affecting you. You're not getting the life per hit. You're not getting the FCR. The life is nice. Max stamina doesn't really matter at this point, especially when you have Harmony on your swap. Give you that Vigor Aura. That's our swap. Our shield is going to be a Storm Shield. Best in slot would be 4 open socket Storm Shield. When I first started, I was using a Spirit Monarch, which are just as good. Still get the all res. You also get +2 skills. The FCR doesn't do nothing. And you get some FHR as well, which is kind of nice. A little bit of life, a little bit of mana. All that's good stuff. So you can use that. Or if you can get a socketed Storm Shield, 4 socketed, throw some diamonds, throw some ums in it, whatever. Throw some ists in it. Doesn't really matter. As far as the charms here, what is this? Let's see what this is really quick. Let's jump. Charms, I've just kind of got a hodgepodge of crap. Obviously, you're going to want a Amazon torch, not a Druid torch, but this is the only torch I have, so I threw it on here just as an example. You can get an Annihilus charm and Annie, and then everything else is going to be either Java Grand charms. You can do poison small charms. I've got a lot of resistance charms, magic find charms, lifers. I think I got 5 all res in here somewhere. Lots of lifers, a little bit of magic find. There it is. 5 all res, stuff like small charms like that will really help you out. Get those resistances maxed out. Stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, we're not using a mercenary on this class. If you were, like if you want them for chaos or something, you do insights would be the entry level with a shaft stop or any high defense armor. Mid range could be a fort, treachery, stuff like that. End game, you especially if you're going pure lightning, you're going to want a end game weapon is going to be Infinity to get the Conviction Aura, which will help you out a lot as well. I don't have that. Got 1 burr rune that I'm saving up. Once I get another burr rune, I'll be able to make my Infinity just in time for the season to reset. But yeah, that's basically it. You can use faster run walk charms as well if you want to get your faster run walk a little bit higher. That's basically it for that. I mean, as far as farming locations, you can pretty much farm wherever you want. It doesn't matter. The downside is if you don't have Enigma, you're going to be pretty slow running to places. So you can do cows is going to be one of your best locations. You can do Trav, pretty easy, not too bad. Chaos is a good one. Frigid, you can do Pindle, Shank. Show you guys this really quick. These guys die super easy. Great place to farm. This is where I personally like to farm. I'll do cows, then come run Pindle, Shank. And these guys just melt away. And there, he's done. The only major downside of this class is it's kind of hard to work in a little bit of magic find. See, I'm at 43 magic find. Ideally, if I got a 3 socket here, I could throw some P Topaz in that. Enigma, if I had that, would run 90 magic find. You could throw the War Tribes on, stuff like that. I wouldn't swap out Trangs or Laying of Hands. If you need the increased attack speed, go with Laying of Hands. Otherwise, the poison damage on these guys is really nice. Wouldn't swap those out for Chances or anything. You could maybe use a gel in your offering here. So there are some ways to get a little bit of magic find as well. More charms and stuff like that. More magic find charms will really help you out. That's basically going to be it for this guide video today. If you like the Javazon, let me know down in the comments below. YouTube algorithm really loves comments, likes, stuff like that. Make sure if you want to see more of my Path of Diablo videos that you guys go and hit that big red subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. Really trying to break 100 subscribers. They always say in YouTube that your first 100 subscribers is just as hard as your first 100,000 subscribers. So I don't know about that, but we'll see. We're sitting right about at 74 right now. I'd really like to get to 100 before, I don't know, before next December. That would be great. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I respond to all the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
On my way through the night, please give me some more time. I can